everyone, this is Ayushi Maheshwari. Welcome you to my channel. Today we are going to study the topic carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome is a very common condition in which your median nerve is compressed below the flexor retinaculum inside the carpal tunnel ligament and causes tingling, numbness and weakness in your hand. It causes tingling, numbness and weakness in your hand. Median nerve is the main nerve of the upper extremity. It originates from the C6, C7, C8, T1 and passes along the length of your arm, forearm and the length of your wrist and ends in the hand. And it is responsible for the feelings and movements of your thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger only. It does not control your little finger. Because of the pressure exerted on the median nerve, it is compressed and this causes the symptoms. Though median nerve is compressed, so it is also called as the median nerve compression. To understand this well, we need to first learn the transverse section of the wrist. So let's move on towards the transverse section of the wrist. So guys, now moving on towards the anatomy of the wrist, we need to understand this both the ways. By transverse section of the wrist and by the AP view of the wrist. I will explain you both of them one by one. So now first moving on towards the transverse section. So to understand this, you know very well, this is the lining of the fascia. This border you are seeing, this is the lining of the fascia of the wrist. This is the muscle of the little finger. Muscle of little finger. Your pinky finger. And this is the muscle of thumb. Okay. These are the carpal bones. Trapezium, trapezoid, capitate and hamate. These four are our carpal bones which we are having over here. These are our carpal bones. Now this circle you are seeing, this contains various of your flexor tendons. I am not going deep with the flexor tendons, but it contains all of your flexor muscles of the palm and the fingers. So these are your flexor tendons. And this is your median nerve of which we are talking about. This is your median nerve. So when there any pressure is exerted over the fascia, this median nerve gets compressed by any of the means. I will explain you later on what are maybe the causes of this compression. But by any of means, when it gets compressed, it causes numbness, tingling, pain and weakness in your hand. So this is the case of the wrist, and now moving on towards the AP view. This is your hand part. This is your radius bone which is always towards the thumb. Remember, this is your ulna bone. This is your radius bone. This is your ulna bone. This is your flexor retinaculum. These are your carpal bones. Below this, flexor retinaculum. Okay, now these are the various flexor tendons which are passing from the flexor retinaculum. These are your flexor tendons. And this is your median nerve which also passed from the flexor retinaculum and supplies thumb, index finger, middle finger and part of the ring finger. So now see how these branches are spread. When this median nerve comes from here, it supplies first your thumb. One branch supplies your thumb. Now other branch supplies the part of the index finger and again your thumb. remaining part of the thumb. Next branch, supplying the remaining part of your index finger and the part of your middle finger. Another branch, supplying the remaining part of your middle finger and the part of your index finger. This is the anatomy of the median nerve. It controls the movements and feelings of your thumb, index finger, middle finger and the ring finger. Okay, so now moving on towards the various causes of the carpal tunnel syndrome. Here are the various causes which creates the pressure on the median nerve and causes the carpal tunnel syndrome, which causes you various silent symptoms like numbness, tingling, pain and weakness. Okay, so now let's see how these are responsible. First is the repetitive motions. Any repetitive activities like typing, playing piano, excessive wrist movement exercise which you do on the daily basis are responsible for the carpal tunnel syndrome. Our next point is hypothyroidism. In hypothyroidism, there is accumulation of the mucinous material, which we also call as the mucopolysaccharides, in the flexor tendons, which exerts a pressure on the median nerve and thus is responsible for the carpal tunnel syndrome. But in case of severe hypothyroidism, the swelling of the synovium also responsible for the carpal tunnel syndrome. Our next cause is obesity. In obesity, there is increased fluid accumulation in the tissue spaces in the flexor tendons, which exerts a pressure on the median nerve beside them. हमने पहले वीडियो में देखा है फ्लेक्सर टेंडन के बाजू में हमारा छोटा सा मीडियन नर्व होता है. अगर इन टिश्यूज के स्पेसेस में बहुत सारा फ्लूइड इकट्ठा हो जाएगा तो वो मीडियन नर्व को कंप्रेस करेगा और ये ओबेसिटी का और इसलिए ओबेसिटी इसका कारण बनती है कार्पल टनल सिंड्रोम का. Our next cause is diabetes. In case of diabetes, there is no as such known cause, but researchers believe to be say that high blood sugar level causes the carpal tunnel syndrome, because in this there is glycosylation of the flexor tendons, which means your tendon becomes inflamed and there is also accumulation of the increased material, mucinous material, and thus causes carpal tunnel syndrome. Same in case of pregnancy and menopause, there is due to the fluid retention, there is again your extra fluid is accumulated in the tissue space of the flexor tendon and compressing your median nerve and thus causing carpal tunnel syndrome. In case of rheumatoid arthritis, as we all know, there is increased inflammation of synovium, and because of this increased inflammation of synovium, it again exerts a pressure over the median nerve and causes the carpal tunnel syndrome. Now coming to the topic of the family history. अगर आपके फैमिली में आपके पेरेंट्स को या आपके किसी सिबलिंग को कार्पल टनल सिंड्रोम है, so there are more chances of carpal tunnel syndrome because of the abnormal gene present in your body. Okay, so now moving on next, that is traumatic injury. अगर हमको किसी भी तरह से चोट लग जाती है हमारे रिस्ट पार्ट पे, चाहे चाकू से लग जाए या किसी एक्सीडेंट से लग जाए या कोई आर्टरी का डैमेज होने की वजह से वहां पे कंप्रेशन क्रिएट हो जाए या कोई भी कॉज हो सकता है, तो so it will also damage the carpal tunnel as well and thus causing the carpal tunnel syndrome. Next is tenosynovitis, inflammation of the flexor tendons and the synovium is very important, which causes the carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, so now let's proceed towards the symptoms of the carpal tunnel syndrome. Here are the various symptoms which you find mostly in the cases of carpal tunnel syndrome. Moving on. First symptom we found majorly is burning, tingling, itching, numbness in your palm. I repeat, these are the very major symptoms you are found. Burning, tingling, itching, numbness. Burning, tingling, itching, numbness in your palm, including your thumb, index finger and middle finger. Sometimes patient may say that उनको अपने हाथ में सुन्नपन लगता है. Like that sometimes patient fingers may fall asleep. Fingers fall asleep because of it happens because of usually how the patient holds their hand while sleeping, and it produces numbness over the night. हमें रात में अपने हाथ में अगर अपना हाथ गलती से सोने में दब जाए over the wrist area, then you may find, उसको हम इंग्लिश में fall asleep कहते हैं, and you may find numbness at night. In during the daytime, your symptoms might flare up because of driving, reading, or any other activity. Mostly in some cases, patients woke up with tingling and numbness in your hand that may run up to your shoulder. These are the various symptoms of tingling and numbness you find. Moving on the next, weakness in your hand. Though there is a lot of weakness in your hand because of the muscle atrophy of the hand muscles. So it causes you trouble holding things. There is so much trouble in holding थिंग्स, यानी लंबे समय तक हम कोई सामान पकड़ नहीं सकते, कोई भारी सामान नहीं पकड़ सकते, या कोई हल्का सामान भी हम बहुत देर तक नहीं पकड़ सकते. इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द वीकनेस इन योर हैंड एंड दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ द मसल एट्रोफी. मूविंग ऑन नेक्स्ट, patient might feel shock like feelings that move into your fingers. Patient also feels tingling that moves up to your arm and less grip strength because of the muscle in your hand shrink. Due to the muscle atrophy, your hand muscles get weak, your hand get weakness because of the muscle atrophy, and because of the muscle atrophy, your muscles in your hand got shrink, which causes less grip strength. Moving on, more pain and muscle cramping due to the muscle. Same, I repeat, due to the muscle atrophy, muscle shrink, there is more pain and muscle cramping. And at last, due to the any irritation present or any traumatic injury or any cause by which your median nerve is getting compressed, there is slowing of the nerve impulses, which causes again pain, grip strength, tingling, shock-like feeling, weakness, burning, tingling, itching, numbness, and incoordination, especially of this movement. When you use your thumb to pinch something, it causes incoordination. Now, next heading under this syndrome is risk factors. Let me tell you, risk factors are the very important thing to understanding any of the conditions, because they helps you to know the factors which are the various factors which may take you to the condition. So our first factor is on the basis of the gender, that is women. Guys, let me tell you, women are 3 times more prone than men in order to get this condition called as carpal tunnel syndrome, because of the anatomy of the wrist they are having. I already showed you in the diagram of the TS section of the wrist in this diagram, the carpal tunnel anatomy. Women are having a very small carpal tunnel. Like अगर normal ये रहेगा तो women का शायद इतना ही हो. So this easily causes your median nerve to compress and causes you this condition and causes us this condition. Next factor is job or a profession. What type of job you are having which makes your wrist excessive movements over and over, and you may develop this condition. Such professions are first musician, any instrument playing like guitar, again causing your wrist to have excessive movements over and over. Playing tabla, harmonium and many more. Next is knitting work. Knitting means जो हमारा सिलाई वाला काम होता है, हमारे मम्मी लोगों को आपने देखा होगा, they usually have this type of movements. Next is the assembly line worker. बचपन में हम लोग जब क्लास मॉनिटर हुआ करते थे तो हमारा काम ऐसा होता था कि हम हमारी जो असेंबली लाइन होती थी उसको इस डायरेक्शन के मूवमेंट से अगर कोई बच्चा बाहर है तो हम उसको अंदर करने की कोशिश करते थे. We usually measure in this way. So this excessive movements of the wrist causes you carpal tunnel syndrome. ये आपके जो जिसका प्रोफेशनली काम है, जैसे पीटी टीचर होते हैं, उनका काम यही होता है करने का. So they may develop this condition. Next is the cashier. If the cashier is not using a machine in order to sum up the cashes and using his hand to count, and may develop a carpal tunnel syndrome, and as well as the hairstylist. Now our third factor is a traumatic factor. Any fracture or dislocation of your wrist can cause you pinching of the median nerve and the symptoms are produced. Last factor is the hereditary, that is genetic abnormality. abnormality in the genes that disturbs the myelin. अगर हमारे myelin में कोई भी disturbance होता है because of any abnormality in the gene, abnormality in the genes, so there will be disturbances in the insulation of the nerve fibers and thus causing the slowing of the nerve fibers. I hope you all know, but okay, let me tell you what is myelin. Myelin is a substance that insulates the nerve fibers. It is the substance that insulates the nerve fibers, means myelin is responsible for the nerve to send further information. So these are the risk factors. Moving on towards the diagnosis of the carpal tunnel syndrome. Diagnosis से हमें आसानी से पता चल जाता है कि carpal tunnel syndrome है या नहीं, और हमारे सारे doubts भी clear हो जाते हैं कि कौन कौन सी कुछ चीजें अगर हमें छूट रही हैं या नहीं. Okay, so first diagnosis is based on the sign and symptoms. As I earlier told you about the sign and symptoms of the carpal tunnel syndrome, on the basis of those symptoms, we can make the diagnosis of the condition. And one of the major physical examination is full flexion with arm extended. Full flexion with arm extended means this arm is extended completely your arm is extended with full flexion of the wrist. This. If this condition elicits a pain or produces a pain or creates a pain or increases the pain, कोई भी तरीके से अगर पेन बढ़ रहा है या कुछ भी तरीके से पेन आ रहा है, so it is a positive sign of the carpal tunnel syndrome. Full flexion, complete flexion with arm extended. Okay, next is the Tenial sign. Tenial sign is a sign used to detect, or it is a way to detect the irritated nerve. अगर हमारी median nerve irritate हो रही है तो हम इस sign की मदद से पता लगा सकते हैं. Tenial sign will be positive if any percussion or tapping or slight percussion or slight tapping of the median nerve elicits a pain. अगर यहाँ पे हल्का सा टैप करने पे या परकशन देने में पेन आता है तो ये पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा, और this denotes a positive carpal tunnel syndrome. Next is the Phalen's test. Phalen's test is again if this test increases the pain, you are prone to the carpal tunnel syndrome. Phalen's test में क्या होता है? It is a reverse Prayer's test. आप इसको reverse Prayer test भी बोल सकते हैं. Prayer position is this. This is your prayer position. अगर ये हम ऐसे कर लें, so is this reverse prayer? Yes, it is reverse prayer position. So if this position elicits pain or increases the pain over the median nerve distribution, you are having a carpal tunnel syndrome. This is reverse Prayer's test or Phalen's test. Another test for this is prayer test. This. If this causes a pain, then you are also having carpal tunnel syndrome. Next is our imaging test. Imaging test में हमारे आ जाते हैं X-ray, MRI और ultrasound. Doctor might say you to have X-ray in order to exclude any type of arthritis or any bone pathology of the carpal bones. Next is MRI and ultrasound. This is an advanced form of the imaging test and is used to detect any type of entrapments. अगर कोई नर्व की कोई entrapment तो नहीं हो रही है, ये पता लगाने के लिए हम MRI और ultrasound करते हैं. Next test under the heading is electromyogram. Next test or next activity by which we can diagnose. Electromyogram, also called as the EMG, is used to measure the electrical activity of the muscles. Doctor places an electrode over the particular muscles of which your electrical activity needs to be measured, and you will get the report in the form of the graph showing your electrical activity of the muscles. Next is the nerve conduction velocity, also called as NCV, is used to measure the signals in your nerve. In this, doctor puts an electrode over your skin, over your skin area to measure the impulses sent by the nerve. So these are the diagnoses by which we can confirm the patient is having carpal tunnel syndrome or not. Okay, so now we are at the very important heading of our topic, that is carpal tunnel syndrome, and the most important heading is the treatment. We need to understand this well. So let me tell you, the first treatment you can follow is the lifestyle change. First treatment is lifestyle change. if a person having the symptoms of carpal tunnel syndrome because of the lifestyle they are having, like repetitive motion of the exercise, as I already told you, they are a musician or assembly line worker or a hairstylist or a knitter or anything. They can, if it is possible, they can change their profession as well. Or if it is not possible, they can do the bit of the movements that causing the pain. कम से कम उन चीजों का उन कामों को करो जिनकी वजह से पेन हो रहा हो. अगर पॉसिबल है तो आप अपना प्रोफेशन चेंज करने को बोल सकते हैं अपने पेशेंट को, या फिर उन्हें ये बोल दें कि आप अपने काम को लंबे समय तक ना करें, ब्रेक ले लेके करते रहें. ये ट्रीटमेंट का जो प्रोटोकॉल है ये हम तभी फॉलो कर सकते हैं जब पेशेंट के पास माइल्ड सिम्टम्स हो. बहुत ज्यादा सिम्टम्स होंगे तो ये करना पड़ेगा ही, लेकिन माइल्ड सिम्टम्स को हम कवर करने के लिए हम ये फॉलो कर सकते हैं. सेकेंड टॉपिक है हमारा immobilization. Your doctor may suggest you to immobilize your wrist in order to give the rest to your wrist and decrease the pressure of the median nerve from your wrist. Immobilization के लिए splint आता है मार्केट में, डॉक्टर आपको splint सजेस्ट करेगा. That is called as the carpal tunnel splint. Carpal tunnel splint is used very commonly to provide rest to your wrist, and you may use this splint in the night to decrease. This will help you in decreasing your symptoms of tingling and numbness. Okay. Next is medication. Medical treatment can be of your NSAIDs and steroidal shots. Okay, your doctor may suggest you for some non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, also known as the NSAIDs. You can use ibuprofen, or you may call them as ibuprofen, IBU, in order to decrease any type of pain, and steroid shots are given to curb the swelling, to control the swelling. Next, moving on towards our treatment is surgical part, surgery. If the patient is not relieved with all these treatments and the symptoms are very worst or severe, then your doctor might suggest you for surgery, that is also called as the carpal tunnel release. Carpal tunnel release is done in order to decompress the any compression over the area. If your nerve is compressed by any sort of thing, what may be the cause of the compression, to decrease that compression is called as the carpal tunnel release. It is done by the surgical method. And also your doctor may increase the carpal tunnel area, which causing the carpal tunnel syndrome, especially in the women. So this is our treatment part. In the treatment part, next heading is the physiotherapy management. This is the very important part. Anytime your patient having carpal tunnel syndrome must go for physiotherapy. First is ergonomic modification. As I already told you, if it is possible, change your lifestyle, take breaks while doing the continuing your motion, and a lot many you can do, like taking a break or doing a less and less of those types of movements that are creating your pain. So basic aim of the ergonomic modification is providing the more and more rest to your wrist part. This will help in decreasing your pain. Second is the manual therapy techniques. There are the various manual therapy techniques including mobilization of the soft tissues, carpal bones and median nerve is done in the various ways. These are done to remove the adhesions from the tissues over the area, any adhesions or any soft tissues present between the bones. So mobilization will help in relieving all those. Next manual therapy technique is stretching part. You can do stretching, and a bit of the massage part is also used to decrease the tissue adhesion. Second, okay, moving on is the nerve and the tendon gliding exercises. There are various nerve and tendon gliding exercises. Let me tell you one by one. First is the keep your elbows slightly bent this way, like you are riding a motorbike. Slightly bend your elbow. Your wrist will be like this. This will be your position from the side view. Keep your wrist this way and back and forth movements of the wrist. This is a bit of warm-up exercises, not putting a lot stretch over the wrist and not putting a lot of pressure over the wrist. And as well, not also a resistance. This you can do. Your elbow needs to be bent and your wrist needs to be in the neutral position. Motorbike. Second proceeding is the radial and the ulnar deviation. As I already told you, what is the radial, which one is the radial bone and which one is the ulnar bone. So bend your elbow again this way and this. So carpal tunnel syndrome is present over here and we are stretching the above and below parts of the radial and the ulnar side. This way. Radial deviation and ulnar deviation. You can clearly see from the side view. And this is radial and the ulnar deviation. Okay, so now next is the palmar flexor stretch. Make your fist like this. This is the forearm stretch, sorry. This is the forearm stretch. Make your fist like this and take your wrist downwards. This will create a tension or a stretch over your anterior part of the forearm and thus providing a proper stretch. These are all the nerve and tendon gliding exercises. This. Hold them for 5 seconds and release. Hold them for 5 seconds and release. Next is the forearm extensor stretch. Same position but opposite direction. Look, likewise, creating pressure over the posterior aspect of the forearm. This. Hold for 5 seconds, release. Hold for 5 seconds, release. Okay. Now next are the some of the hold exercises. Hold for 5 seconds and then release. Look into them. Make a fist like this. This is same. Hold for 5 seconds. This is a full complete circuit. Hold for 5 seconds. Likewise, hold for 5 seconds. Release. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Now form a puppet shape with your palm. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Same. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Okay. So these are your nerve and tendon gliding exercises. Next is the stretching part. Stretching of the median nerve. So take your hand out in abduction, 90-degree abduction. Your palm needs to be downward in your downward flexion, or you may call it palmar extension. And take your neck to opposite direction. This will give you a proper stretch of the median nerve. This is also done by keeping your palm against the wall and do this. Hold for 30 seconds and release. Hold for 30 seconds and release. I get a very good stretch over here. Okay, so next stretch is this. This position will be there. Your elbow will be straight. Arm will be 90-degree flexion and give your palms a bit stretch towards you. This will give you a proper stretch over here. This is also a stretch. Okay, moving on next is the cervicothoracic spine. A physiotherapist never should forget to check the whole of the thing. Never forget to check the cervicothoracic spine if it is creating any type of referral or a double curse syndrome, which may cause the carpal tunnel syndrome. If it is creating, physiotherapist must correct that as well. Next is the use of the modalities. There are various modalities also if the physiotherapist needed to reduce the pain or reduce any sort of thing which modalities can help. The physiotherapist can use the modalities as well, such as TENS,
ultrasound, and a splint is also provided, as I already told you. Last phase of our exercises, or we can call it as a rehabilitation, that is a strengthening part. Strengthening of the exercises is very much and is the last phase. Okay? Strengthening of your extensors, wrist extensors and everything. So it will help you to gain your strength and grip before you were suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome. So you can gain strength by this. Grip, if you are using by this method, if you are using a ball, you can use a smiley ball or a lacrosse ball also to do this. You can use a ball and do this, okay? And these exercises, thumb 9 finger exercises, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can also do them with the help of resistance, like providing a bit resistance over your thumb because thumb is most affected, and taking thumb towards your finger. 1. Next. 2. Next. 3. Taking your thumb towards them. Next. 4. Likewise, you can do many.
Okay, so guys, now I'm going to teach you some flexor release exercises, releasing the flexor part of the forearm. For this, you need a lacrosse ball and you need to place your hand likewise. This is your carpal tunnel syndrome area. You will place this area over the forearm and put slight pressure with your hand over the ball like this and rotate it well. This will release all the tensions over the median nerve and give you a very good massage. Now take this ball much more like this and put some pressure over here and do the same. And take the ball in the transverse section as well. Like this. Like this will help in releasing your fascia of the flexor muscles and decompressing the median nerve and will provide you relief from pain and swelling, and sooner you will relieve your carpal tunnel syndrome. So now after treatment part and physiotherapy part and everything, let's throw some light over the complications and prevention as well. Moving on towards the complications, if you will not treat your carpal tunnel syndrome as early as possible, you may develop, your symptoms may get more and more worse. If you don't want your symptoms to get more and more worse, get early diagnosis and get earliest treatment possible. You can develop many types of entrapment syndromes and loss of sensation over palmar area, including your thumb, index finger and middle finger, and also the dorsal part. I already explained you before. Next is the prevention part. If you are having a carpal tunnel syndrome, you need to save your syndrome from getting more worse. For this, you need to follow these rules. Keep your wrist straight. Straight means in a neutral position, not in the excessive flexion, not in the excessive extension. Keep your wrist in the neutral position as much as possible. Use a splint or a brace. If you cannot able to keep your wrist in neutral position by yourself, use a splint or a brace. Avoid overusing. Avoid overusing of flexion movements. Avoid overusing of extension movements, as I already told you. Take as many as breaks as possible. So this was the carpal tunnel syndrome. I hope I helped you in your notes. And if you like my video, like it, share it with your colleagues, and at last, gather lots and lots of gyan and subscribe Physio Gyan.